I'm here at the first car show here in Modesto, California that kicked off American Graffiti. It's a big event here. We celebrate George Lucas and making the movie of American Graffiti. So of course the covers of Modesto View is all themed on American Graffiti. It's all about chrome and poodle skirts. And right here is actually the car that I used to create the cover. So let me take you to my studio and show you what I did. So here we are back in my studio, and here's the cover. So how we came up with the idea of this was this image that my editor Chris Murphy sent to me, showing some boys eating ice cream on a hot summer day leaning up against a classic car. So this is what we were going to work with right here, this idea, this concept. So the next step, pretty much the shoot and creating the cover all happened in about 2 days, in which we actually, in the third day, we had to get this out to the printer. So we had a short amount of time to get this done. So we were able to find a car from Joe Stewart, who's a resident of Modesto, California, and he was kind enough to let us use his car. And we were able to find 4 kids that actually lived in the neighborhood of my editor. So we were able to get them dressed up, set up behind the car right here. If you notice where the sun's coming, it's coming from shooting the front of the car and part to the side. And you'll see how I will try to match up the lighting as I create my art scene. The kids are all set up and I do the shoot. We ended up getting this image, right? Pretty cute, but I wanted this to feel like this is a 50s scene. So first thing I needed to do was cut out the background so all the car and the kids were showing. Next thing I did was bringing in a sky where the sun matched pretty close to how I shot the scene. Now again, we had a limited amount of time. This actually had to be sent to the printer the next day. So I ended up bringing in some old assets that I used on a cover back in 2013, and it was American Graffiti cover, and it had Burgess in the background. So I brought that in, matched up the perspective with the angle that I shot, which was actually down low, pointing upwards. Then the next thing I wanted to do was actually bring in some details. As I've always said, details tell more of the story. So I'll put in the slingshot to this young man here, put in some cool shades for this gentleman right here. And as you notice, there's no ice cream in the cones, and the kids weren't too happy about that, but we didn't want the ice cream to get all over their white t-shirts and of course this classic car. We promised them they got ice cream afterwards. So I added the ice cream. Okay, so here's the scene right here. So the next thing I wanted to do, bring in some filters, because the problem I was having was that this photograph didn't match to this object. This looked like more of an illustration and this looks like more of a photo. So filters were going to help me blend this together so it felt like this was a complete scene. So first I bring it into Lightroom, and I add the color tint to it, darken it a little bit, give it more of a sunset type of vibe, right? Then I bring it into Perfect Effects, and I use this high definition filter right here, right? I brought out the highlights, and it gave it more of an illustration look, and as you see, it actually matched. But you also notice that I add more object to the scene. And mainly sometimes this comes the end of the hour, and my editor wanted me to make some few changes to it. So I ended up adding some Converse tennis shoes to this young man here. Added a window decal right here. We like to add little Easter eggs to our covers and stuff. So this is a Star Wars thing we back there, and then here's our graffiti logo that we have in the corner. So this is pretty much it. This was the cover. Ended up send this out to the layout guy, Pete Grimaldi, and he puts the header and the call outs and so forth, and there we have it, our June 2019 Modesto View graffiti cover. So I hope you enjoy this, and if you want to see more videos of me making covers or creating some kind of fantasy art with cosplayers, subscribe to my channel. And hopefully once a month I'll have something new to show on making creative portraits. So till next time, all be well. Thank you.